Okay, YouTube, what is going on? I'm back, bringing you guys another video. Today, you guys are going to be watching Project Cars. Now, some of you guys are probably going to be saying, why bring Project Cars back to the channel? That game is old, the game sucks. And, honestly, I think it's better than Forza 6 Apex. And Forza 6 Apex was the racing game I was going to bring to the channel, with, like, the time attack things on the Top Gear, but this game, in my opinion, is better. I'm going to go over why I think Project Cars is not a bad game. Now, I know whenever the game first came out, it was very, very buggy. Certain things really didn't work, and the game lacked content. And I do agree with that. But the developers have released a lot of patches and updates to fix the game. Now, on PC, and I know it was kind of an issue on console, but PC was the main issue that this was on, was a controller wouldn't work proper. Like, it would read a controller, but everything was just so twitchy and touchy. Now, they did come out with an update that would bring that kind of, like, it would fix it. Now, I do agree, it is pretty fixed. You do kind of have to tweak some settings, but it was a really quick Google search. For me, at least, that's what I did. I let other people do the tuning and fixing of the controller settings, and I just Googled it. Found it pretty easily on a Project Cars forum, and it feels really, really good. The game's very, very playable. I enjoy playing it a lot. In my opinion, it's almost 100% better than it was whenever the game came out. The DLCs are pretty good. I got a really good deal off G2A for Project Cars, the Game of the Year edition. So I did all the DLCs. So the game itself is pretty sound. On PC, the menus are pretty fast. On console, pretty slow. And for me, the game runs phenomenal. I get right around 140 to like 190 frames, depending on the map I'm on. So, pretty good if you ask me. The physics of the game are, in my opinion, phenomenal. They simulate everything like I would feel like an actual car. I feel anyway. Braking. It's not like Forza where you just like can mash it and, you know, be fine. You actually have to, like, actually just roll into the brake. You don't just smash it, like, and then the throttle whenever you're coming out of a corner. You don't like smash the throttle like you do in Forza, and the car gradually, comes up. You actually have to roll onto the throttle. And it's a game that I don't think the racing community was ready for a full-on sim game, because even Forza Motorsport says it's a sim. It's not really a sim. Assetto Corsa, pretty realistic in my opinion. It's realistic. I would classify Assetto Corsa as an actual sim, but the game, it still has like an arcadey feel, kind of like you can still get away with certain things. The game's very, very forgiving. So I mean, yes and no. Assetto Corsa a billion times better than Forza, but I wouldn't classify it as a full-on sim. In this game, you have to treat it like you're physically driving a car, and it's kind of hard on a controller because the first few inches of like the steering wheel are very touchy, but after that it's smooth. So it's not even a few inches, just like the first little, like, 1 centimeter. It's not bad at all. Something you get used to quite quickly, and it's really good in my opinion. So if you guys have Project Cars, I recommend you just give it another shot. If you guys play it all the time, awesome. Now I do want to touch on the things I think Project Cars could have done better. Now, one thing is the controller support. Yeah, I said the controllers work really good, but other games you can just plug in a controller and it works perfectly. Not select course, a project card, you have to do some tweaking, that kind of thing. And yeah, for me it's okay, but other people might not like that. Um, it's one of those things, kind of touchy, because for me at least, I don't mind having to tweak some settings to use a controller whenever the game is really meant to be played on a steering wheel. So I'm okay with it, but it is what it is. And the tuning for track, it's really good. Physics are amazing if you're just gonna do normal like track driving, like try and set a really good lap time. One thing I would have liked to seen better of is they released the MX-5 Red Bull Mad Mike's drift car from Formula Drift, and the physics for project cars are really snappy in transitions whenever you spin. And it makes it almost impossible to drift in link corners. So it's one of those things that tuning can help the car slide and stick a little bit, but really it's not. The game's not meant to drift. Do I wish you could kind of mess with some settings, or not settings, but like be able to tune the car and the game would allow you to? Yes, but I kind of understand why the game, I don't think, was ever meant to be a game where you can drift in. It was meant to set for high performance like track driving. So I kind of understand it, but if you're not going to have a game where you can drift in, why release a drift car and make it almost impossible to drive around a normal track? So that's my opinion on project cars. Let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys think. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like, and also down in the description box down below there's a link to the podcast I'm doing. I'll have a video out later this week officially announcing it and explaining everything we want to do with it. But if you guys want to, go subscribe to that channel and watch our first podcast that's already out. And I'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.